When I see a young man, when I think about what he could be if he just had the right soil, the right fertilizer, the right sun, the right rain, the right support, flower that the young man could grow into, it's a great feeling.
I'm fully proud of who I am. I'm a black male from New Orleans, and I fully show up in that way as a black male from New Orleans. I can't hide it. I talk like it. I look like it, like literally in my perception and how I appear. I look like a black male from New Orleans.
I feel like I'm the good and bad of New Orleans in a sense. I've experienced the love, the music, the culture, the food, but also I've been a victim of the crime, the violence. And so it's a balance, a duality of living here and being from here to know that, yeah, I can tell you all the exciting places, but I've also touched the bad places as well. So that's who I am.
Over time, employment for every group has increased, except for African American males. Put it in perspective, New Orleans is 300 years old. 150 years of it was in slavery. 100 years of it was in that Jim Crow era. It's only in the last 50 years where it was even possible for African American New Orleanians to fully participate in the economy.
You have the issues that young black males across this country face. Racism, police brutality, lack of opportunity. So you have all these barriers, these roadblocks, and this trauma that we as young black males have.
Economic disparities don't just negatively impact the people who are on the wrong side of those disparities, they make it harder for our entire city to move forward and to be competitive with other cities who are doing a better job at inclusion than we are.
I was always considered the smart one, the one that went to the good school, the one that got the good grades and went to college, but after my brother got murdered, it shifted and I lost pretty much my own identity. I just wanted to feel alive and wound up getting in trouble, hanging with some people, and got convicted of a crime, 3 counts of armed robbery. As a first offender, the judge offered me 65 years in prison with no prior offense or anything like that. Initially, losing my brother, I lost myself, but in losing myself, I had to find myself.
The Silverback Society is a collection of men who have organized to expose young men to success and teach young men how to achieve.
It's not often that young men see models of themselves standing in front of classrooms, running schools, making policies that govern schools. So for us to have the opportunity to parade successful men in front of these boys, such that these boys will have an opportunity to say, I want to be like that man one day.
Our philosophy basically is that these children are solutions. You know, if we show up consistently, bring unconditional love, demonstrate their possibilities by telling them our stories, and they get hope. And once a child has hope, now everything they do matters.
As a member of the Silverback Society, every step I take, I feel like I see the contributions, the footprints of my forefathers, my forebrothers, and I'm conscious about the steps that I take in terms of what it allows for the brothers who come behind me, and meaningfully trying to engage them such that I can be a part of their net that works and not just a part of their network.
New Orleans is a city where you have to know somebody. And as a young person, you're trying to build these connections. You're trying to build this foundation going forward. So I think young people are missing from the table because it's hard to get to the table. You know, I think paying it forward towards the community of New Orleans, young black males in particular, is something that's highly important to me. I think what they offer the city is a new voice, a new perspective, new ideas.
What's my hope for New Orleans? That they're making a different set of decisions than we thought we had to make during that time. That they feel free to choose New Orleans as the place where they will settle and raise their families.
My hope for my son as a young black man, a person of color, is that whatever space and place he moves, he brings the value.
My hope would be that young men and boys of color in New Orleans don't need a second chance or a safety net. Because if you don't need a second chance or a safety net, then the barriers that exist now will be eliminated and alleviated. And that young men and boys of color have the opportunity to be the best them that they can be. And we move from a space of surviving to thriving.
See, we really consider these children to be the power. They're gonna be the game changers. But these boys are gonna change this city. This city is gonna be completely different in 10, 12 years.